Hello YouTube and welcome back to the GonzoEwok channel with me, Gonzo, for part 4 of our RimWorld playthrough. In the last issue, we made power, I should say. We set up a fuel generator, we ran a cable down, set up this little fridge, and as a result, what we've got here is a nice cool room. Everything that's being kept in here is now frozen. We don't have to worry about food going off, providing we'll keep that generator fueled with lots of wood. We haven't really got much wood, if I'm honest, but you know, we have got an order to chop down a lot of trees and start gathering it. In the meantime, crops grown, they're ready for harvesting. That order will come in at some point. That'll be quite nice. You know, we have got a bit of an easier time of it because, you know, the area that we're based in here, while there isn't a huge amount of fertile land in the grand scheme of things because it's a bit dry, there is a very long, like, year-round growing cycle. We can grow stuff as we need to. If we were playing in, say, in the Arctic tundra, we might not have very long at all to get stuff grown, if stuff would even grow. So crops definitely is a good advantage here. The game is suggesting that, you know, we've named the colony, we've been here some time, we can expect pirates to turn up at some point. Also a little bit short of food. Now that we have got a freezer up and running, I want this harvested and I want Schroeder to start cooking these meals. And getting stuff ready. Cooking skill still isn't great, but you can see nearly progressed up to level 3. Oh no, a third of the way progressed to level 3. Enjoys cooking, will level up a little bit quicker. So far, I don't think we've had anybody who's had food poisoning. Do a quick double check, no injuries. Asthma. There's a point, if we've got an asthmatic, we will be using this medicine. So what I might do, just as we get a start of this episode, is set up another growing zone. I want this to be a door. This one doesn't need to be quite as big. How big have we got these? 6 by 12. Don't really need that much, but 6. We do 6 by 10. Have we? I think Schroeder's a pretty decent gardener, grown at 12. So, just pause it before people start putting potatoes here, because what I want to plant is heal root. Heal root lets us make herbal medicine. With further advances in technology, we can turn that herbal medicine into actual medicine. But herbal medicine's better than no medicine. That will work in a pinch. We could plant drugs as well, of course, and become a little bit of a cartel. But we'll set that away to say, right, we want some heal root. Schroeder, actually, I'd like you to do that. It's fairly sharpish. Heal root will take a long time to grow, so we'll want to get that herbal medicine made. What I'll probably end up doing longer term is I'll make a medical facility with, you know, proper decent medical beds in. Probably just use like the regular beds to start with, but you can make sort of surgical quality beds, make the room sterile. I'll probably make a small refrigeration area to keep the medicine cool as well, because of course medicine, not so much this medicine won't go off, but herbal medicine will. What we might do is we might make a dedicated freezer to keep a supply of heal root together. Ideally, I don't want to have to rely on herbal medicine. We want to have decent medicine. There's medicine, and there's also what they call glitter world medicine, which is like the top quality stuff. But yeah, I have had colonies fail in the past where I haven't taken care of medicine early enough, and then all it takes is you get some people injured. You get somebody who's got a chronic condition like asthma, who burn through your medical supplies, and then all it takes is somebody, you know, you're back to medieval times, somebody, you know, hits the hand with a hammer and puts a nail through it by accident when they're building something, you're injured, and then you can't fix it. Not that I think you can injure yourself when you're constructing here, but you get the point. Have it got a squirrel bite, it needed medicine to fix it. If we didn't have medicine, you'd have had a hard time pulling through that one. Potential for things like infections, even, you know, bleeding to death. So, we're slowly hauling all of these little bits out here, which is good. You can see there's still like crap on the floor. I would like to get some decent floors down in here, I think. I mean, we haven't really got enough wood to do it. What I could do, I don't remember where, is an order for floors. Probably under the floor section. We could just smooth the floor to make it a little bit better, but it's a bit time consuming and it doesn't really do much. Wood, so it's 3 per square we'll want to put some wood down on. You know what, I'm going to leave that for the time being. I have got everybody set to clean, so if people haven't got anything else to be getting on with, they might at least give it a bit of a brush out. Flick means if we need to turn on and off switches. So for instance, we could build defense turrets, but they might use power, so we might have like a switch to say when we want to turn them on and off, which is quite handy. We want everybody in that situation, you know, whoever's free to go and do that, because if you need to turn a defense turret on, usually means you're being attacked. You can't construct to save your life, but you know what? We'll say you can do it for the time being. Plant cutting. Cut to harvest plants is definitely, well, yeah, definitely sure I should be doing that. She's a good gardener. I assume she'll be alright at cutting down the plants. Planting stuff up there. So that would be planting and harvesting. Because, I mean, this really, we need it harvested. Schroeder's now helping chop down the trees. You know what, Schroeder? All of this. Orders. Harvest. All of it. That bit hasn't grown as quickly, I think, because there might be a little bit of a shadow. Fertilized 70%. Alright, I see, it's because, yeah, it's a little bit of it's like a gravelly area, so that's not ideal. So that's, unfortunately, just going to take much longer to join. What we have seen, though, is we've got a villager named Shiro has arrived and is joining the colony. He's a colony settler. Jump up, Shiro. He's a big bugger. Shiro, male villager of Gonzo. Hauling steel. Alright. So, Shiro Munoz, 43, was a sickly child. Means not particularly good at talking or fighting. Pretty decent at medicine, or decent buff to medicine. Pretty decent buff to research. Yeah, indeed, that's pretty decent. Alright, shooter. Can't do firefighting. Because he's a pyromaniac. Oh, great. Okay, then. Fair enough. I think that's 2 pyromaniacs we've got now, is it? Schroeder? Schroeder's also a pyromaniac. Well, they'll get on like a friggin' house on fire, burning the place down, won't they? He's a prostophile, feels inhibited in his human body, and he wants bionic parts. Also greedy. Wants an impressive bedroom, and will get a mood loss if he doesn't get what he wants. So a bit of a prima donna. Good at mining. Good at research, or alright at research at least. Yeah, decent doctor. Can shoot. You know what, even though there's a very good chance he will start a fire somewhere, that ain't too bad in the grand scheme of things. You know what, I'll take that. It's handy if we've got somebody who's half decent at mining as well. It just means they're a little bit quicker at doing it. So, what do we want to achieve with the rest of this episode? I'm thinking we need to make a start in planning out where the corridors and the rooms are going to go for our now 4 colonists. It's going to be quite important to do that because, of course, we've got 3 beds and now we've got 4 colonists. So, again, anticipating that we're not going to get everything done in one day. Take 35 of that wood. Somebody gets to sleep toasty warm, pressed up against the fuel stove. We are collecting a lot of wood here, though. We are actually chopping it down as these different work orders have stopped. The rice is coming in as well. That's good. So Schroeder goes along, chopping the rice down, and as she does, planting more. That's cool. That's going to give us a lot of food. It'll all need cooking up at some point, but that will come in very handy. So, I'm going to pause the game for the time being, because what I want to do, actually, first of all, Shiro, you should be a doctor. 4, 6. Havoc will leave you as a doctor because you do have a bit of a passion in it. It might be handy if you're doctoring. You can flick. Sure, there's pretty decent animals as well. Yep, definitely want you mining. Helping with the growing? Yeah, pretty decent at that. Good hunter, but will need a weapon to do it. We'll say you're not a hunter for the time being. Not that I'm planning to do much hunting because food's sitting fairly pretty for the time being. We will want more ingredients to cook better meals longer term, but at the minute people can live on rice. Yeah, I think that's alright for work orders there. So we'll keep everything paused just so we don't get attacked by pirates when I'm trying to put my concentrating head on and work out how we're going to build this out. So we've got a door at the top here. That is a weak point if we're putting a main entrance in here. I appreciate that, but we will armour this to high heaven longer term. We could build a defensive wall around it, work out to put turrets all over the place. But I'm still liking the idea that we've got a little door coming in here. So you come into this little section. We'll also want a corridor coming down here, just to join everything together, and hopefully heat will travel down this corridor. So this gives us a nice, decent sized room. We could put in here, like that. If we open that up, that could be sort of like a cooking area. We could put a table in there. That could be like a little kind of chill out lounge, if you like. It's quite handy. And then we'll want bedrooms. So we'll want 4 bedrooms. I'm thinking 4x3. They're not particularly big bedrooms. People won't be happy with that. 3x5. Again, they're a little bit cramped. But you know what? That's not a bad little size. And we do need to mine these out so we can fit doorways on them. But for now, that's quite a bit of mining that we're wanting doing. So I think that'll be pretty good. That'll give us 4 rooms. That'll give us a social space. We can start moving some of this stuff across. We'll also want probably an area for medical stuff. Now, do we want to put medical facility right next to the front door? Because if we were being attacked, do you want the attackers to march in and shoot everybody in your hospital? Probably not. But really, it's a question of space more than anything else here. Could extend the corridor down, maybe put a little kink in it, but then maybe put like a hospital kind of area down here. Of course, if we get many more survivors here, or colonists, we're going to need more space for them. So, I mean, this isn't a huge amount of rock that we've got to build bases. I've had huge cavernous bases where, you know, 12, 13 colonists all living underground in them. But I think for a small colony, this will get us started. Longer term, though, probably what we'll need to do is start walling these areas off to try and make a bit of a compound. You know, even if we're just linking these up with walls, putting a string of defensive turrets, emplacement sandbags around them, so we've got a means of defending ourselves. I am fully expecting at some point we are going to get attacked. Usually not long after you've had a colonist join you, you'll get attacked. So, with that in mind, just pause it again, just while I'm thinking. For security, we could build traps. To be honest, I've never ever used traps. I know some people make very good use of them. But what I'm thinking is we could do, maybe with like a little sort of sandbag emplacement where if we get attacked, we pile in there, and then that gives us a good bit of defence. It costs 6 steel a piece. We've got nearly 500 steel. What might be quite nice, just shorter term again, we will build out, at least that's the plan. If we build out a little corner piece like this, it means we can get our shooters in here with a good bit of cover. Now this will act as cover in a gunfight as well, but generally that gives us a nice fairly big open field of fire here. If people come in down the bottom, however, that could be a problem. So, walls. You know what, we'll get a wooden wall. It'll not take much to build it. We'll just block that off. I mean, again, if we get attacked from the south, people will come up, they'll work their way up through these little gaps. And they'll come in, which isn't ideal. But then I suppose we have got some natural cover here. We could put somebody up against this wall here where we could take shots as they're coming around. Really what we're looking for is we want to have a decent bit of cover and a nice big open killing field in front of us. So if people do decide to come and attack, we can shoot them with impunity basically. So I mean, it's kind of butt ugly, but it will do the trick for the time being. Just means, you know, if the colony gets attacked, we can rush out. And in fact, you know what, to solve that problem about if we get attacked from other directions, people can hop over the sandbags. We'll just have a little all-encompassing little sandbag emplacement here. And yeah, I mean, it slows people down momentarily when they've got to hop over them, but that's fine. I mean, we're living in a colony here, it's not the Hilton Hotel. We've hit compacted machinery. So there we are. At some point we'll dig all of this out and we will replace it with proper walls as well. But at the minute, everything's rough and ready. Survival's the watchword. We're not looking for comfort at the minute. So, the rice, you can see the rice, even when it's not refrigerated, will keep for a good couple of seasons. But of course what we're going to do is shift it and then put it across into our fridges. You can see we're gathering quite a bit of it. The bill that we have, cook simple meals, want to do now, we've got 4 survivors. Always try and cook 3 meals in advance, so do until you have 12. So now each survivor gets 3 meals cooked for them. Area revealed. Where's the uranium? There's uranium here. I mean, is it okay to make a kitchen out of uranium? Will that kill? No, I'm pretty sure that should be alright. Rock containing bits of uranium. Okay, I don't think we can poison ourselves with radiation. But yeah, it's a bit dodgy. We shall see. Speed things up. A little bit low on food. How are we doing in terms of resources? Not bad, not bad. If we have a look at colonist mood, we can see we've had kind of like ups and downs over the first couple of days. We're kind of plateauing at the minute, which is okay as we're moving to like day 4. Slowly increasing. So there was a big spike as we started getting stuff done. That possibly could have been when there was that breakup between Lumi and Havoc. Dropped down quite a bit there. Generally tend to be sitting alright. Wealth in terms of resources that we have, in terms of items that we have, that's increased, which is good. Nearly got this main corridor done. There we are. So, this counts as outdoors now because there isn't a door. Architect. Structure. How are we doing for steel? Still got a fair old bit of it. You know what this is? It's an external door. So to me it makes sense. Put it 1 in so we've got some cover there. We've kind of bottlenecked people if we get attacked, we want people coming in one after the other. Rather than 2 people standing here and chinning whoever we've got at the door. And I think I'll probably turn that into a steel door as well. The external doors, wood's fine to get us started, but we've got the steel, it makes sense. Put at least a decent strength door there. Minor break risk. Shiro. What's going on with Shiro? What's upsetting you, mate? Very ugly environment. Greedy for impressive bedroom. Wants a bionic arm. God, he wants the moon on a stick. Give us a bedroom. Give us a bionic body part. Get us out of this ugly area. Hey, we didn't recruit you. You came to us. So be thankful with what you've got. You've got a bed. You've got the nice bed where you get to warm your feet on the cooker there. I don't see what your problem is, frankly. Bit of a little awning over the front of it. So, temperature in here will start increasing now that we've sealed it up. Hopefully it won't increase too much. Remember, this was like getting over 30 degrees, like up to like 37 degrees before we built this corridor. I think the more area we've got though, the more the heat will sort of dissipate and spread over it. That's what I'm hoping anyway. What are these doing? Just mining. Schroeder. Cooking a meal. Agave, fruit and rice. Oh, that sounds delightful. Yeah, Shiro's still just all pissy. Well, sorry, but there's very little I can do about that right now. You're just going to have to deal with it. Some meals up there. At some point we'll let them go and grab those for me. Let's have a look at the animals we've got here. It's a ship chunk. We can use that and dismantle it. I'll give it a big boost of steel when we get around to it. We've got an alpaca. More steel. Just check out the map while we're doing all that mining. More alpacas, boomalopes, ostriches. Big herd of elephants. And then some of those ibexes. Some jade. Some good little resources on this map. Do you think we could get an ostrich, tame it, and then use it to kick our enemies to death? Could we get an elephant and just charge an elephant into somebody? I mean, if we get enough rice, can we feed rice to an elephant to the point where it becomes our friend? And then, really, I'm not that worried about pirates anymore, because then they get gored to death by an elephant and trodden on. And then even if the elephant dies, it upsets one of them. But, you know, we've still got guns. Could do with more guns. If we get attacked by pirates, we'll get some free clothes and some free guns off those in any event. That'll be canny. I'll puff on the electric fag here. For those of you that like to know the liquids that I'm using in my electronic fag, I'm using one called Liquid State. Today, well, that's the company making a liquid called apple butter, just like apple and cinnamon. It's very festive, so I got it for myself over the Christmas and the New Year. And very canny it is too. Alright. Anything else going on? Little structure up here. It's kind of open. It's a bit far away from anything that we might use it for. Yeah, I'm quite liking the way that things are going here. We'll just speed the game up. I am anticipating, possibly before the end of this episode, we may have an attack. I'm concerned Lumi's a bit pissed off as well. So, Lumi, what's going on with you? Hideous environment, broken up with, disturbed sleep. Private room would serve. Yeah. Well, we're working on it. Don't worry. You've nearly got the main hall ready. Uncomfortable in darkness. That's spacious though. That's good. Yeah. As you can see, mood is starting to cause a bit of an issue, just as things are really ugly. We also have rare thrumbos. Thrumbos, peaceful by nature, friggin' powerful, weird looking things, bit unicornish. If we could get that Thrumbo tamed, I don't fancy our chances much. I think Schroeder is pretty good. No, not Schroeder. Havoc? No. Okay, none of our particularly good animals, and even though it's peaceful, I did try killing one of those once, and it basically just chopped my arm off. So yeah, we'll keep out the distance of that. Hopefully that's kind of milling around when the pirates attack, and if one of the pirates hits it by accident, it might go loco on them. Then again, they could just send it, mad, and then it just decides to kill all humans, and yeah, would probably struggle a bit with the Thrumbo. They're powerful, and they will, wreck your shit very quickly. Alright, that's nearly dug out. Just as we're getting to the end of that order, mine. See, this is a good little tip if you want to kind of control the building, plan out what you're doing. If you want to control the order in which things are mined, I just left off that connector. They'll not worry about it until they know that it can be dug out. So, Chiro's digging in, Schroeder's digging in. We'll get a couple of bedrooms made, hopefully, by the end of the episode. Lumi's busy cooking up. I assume that's agave fruit and rice. It'd be nice if you cook with, like, some of the rat or, the squirrel. We've got quite a bit of squirrel meat. And yeah, definitely a good tidy up of this place is required as well. All of that needs hauling at some point. There we are. There's a raid. How we're doing for time? 23 minutes. I think the past couple of episodes have been about half an hour long. So we'll see what's happening with this raid, and yeah, we'll take it from there. Right, a group of pirates from the suicidal raptors have arrived nearby. They will prepare for a while, then attack, prepare a defense, or attack them preemptively. That's not really a group, is it? That's one bloke with a club. A naked bloke with a club. Oh no, he's got a pair of pants and a club. Where's he coming from? Right, so he's coming from over here in the west. He's probably going to work his way down and around. Now he's going to have to make a mad charge at us because he's got a club, so he doesn't really have much of an option. So what I'm thinking is, Lumi, you're our gal with a rifle. You're going to move around here because this is a nice big open sandy area as he comes trudging along here. Get pot shots aplenty in. Havoc, you've got a knife. Schroeder, you're drafted. You're coming up here, and then we've got a couple of people just putting shots down on him. This is handy, I suppose, as a fallback point, but to be honest, with this poor bastard, Yefim, really don't fancy his chances much. The game will start off with easy raids, but we can end up with like 10, 15 people wearing power armor and carrying automatic weapons turning up and attacking us. I think the game naturally ramps it up as time goes on and as you kind of develop your colony, but it also basically attributes kind of like a wealth rating to your colony depending on how much stuff you've got, how much resource you've got going on. And because we're still kind of piss poor and sort of living in the Stone Age, you know, we're not a particularly valuable target. This guy's just seen it, you know, in his mind to come and hit wall with clubs and take our rice and our rat meat, and I'm not having that, frankly. He's going to get shot. These guys are drafted, which means they're not taking care of their needs. Now, that is a bad thing if they stay drafted forever. I probably could let them kind of do their own thing, but I just want to be prepared. I want to take him out. I want to steal his pants, steal his club, and let him rot in the sun, frankly. Just keeping a burst of the speed. Right, he's planning his assault. We know these guys, as soon as they see him, are going to start taking their shots. So, little bastard. He's trying to work his way around, so as he does, we'll move down to meet him. That was a bit close. There, we're hitting him. First couple of shots coming in, and as I said, this is where it's a little bit voyeuristic for my tastes. He's got a peg leg as well, Jesus Christ. So shot him in the chest. You know, it's hurt him. Weakened his consciousness. His moving's poor at the best of times. This poor bastard. Peg leg and a club and no top. He's just been shot in the torso again. We'll give him the old do-si-do. So, as he chases after Schroeder, Schroeder starts running away. Schroeder gets bruised in the leg with a club. Taking another pot shot at him. That was right lung. Yeah, he's not doing well, this fella, is he? Bang. There we go. So, what was it that did him? Kidney, lung. Yeah, I mean, he didn't really stand much of a chance, did he? Pirate with a peg leg. Yeah, I feel sorry for the guy. Now, bodies lying around and rotten will upset my colonists, so we do need to do something about that. What do we need to do about it? We need to, I suppose, get rid of the body. Now, in terms of getting rid of the body, if we had a furnace or something we could cremate it, that's what we'll aim for. That'll be quite handy, but we ain't got that. So what we want to do, when I can find it, we can dig a grave. Could make a sarcophagus. Party spot. Be quite nice. Marriage spot. Probably not going to have one of those for a while unless, I don't know, Schroeder and Hero want to hit it off. So we'll dig a grave. I assume we can do this in the sand. And, you know, I mean, we're not really going to expand the colony out here. I mean, we're going to use these rocks and then probably this is a majority of our space. So we'll just hide them in the sand. Somebody can go and dig that. Schroeder, go and get yourself fixed. You go and dig a grave, chuck them in. We're not bothered about taking his club. Shiro, you're a bit of a shootist, aren't you? Not quite as good as Schroeder, so you don't deserve a pistol. I mean, we could give you a club as a backup, I suppose. I mean, it's terrible, but... right, strip this fella. The thing that I really like about RimWorld, just going off on a slight tangent, is, as you can see, this pirate has his own background. You know, he was a pyromaniac in his youth. He became a herbalist. He was gay. He's also a pyromaniac. A lot of pyromaniacs turning up. But he had his own skills. You know, everybody's their own kind of well-rounded character, you know, which is really cool. Cloth pants. We don't particularly want them. But we're going to strip off his corpse. Which is not particularly happy, Lumi here, because I'm assuming... Awful barrack. No. Observe the corpse. Yeah, not particularly happy about that. We've taken his trousers off. Bury the body. There we are. Hold the trousers. The trousers are terrible, but if, for whatever reason, somebody's trousers rot off their body, yeah, by all means, we've got a spare pair there. We will set up tailoring. We will try and get our hands on some materials. I know we've got a little bit of leather. You know, rat leather. Don't know if that's enough to make a pair of trousers out of. It was just one rat. By all means, yeah, we'll have to start making some clothes, because the clothes that they're wearing, see, I mean, they're doing okay, but they will start wearing down. Havoc Street and Shredder. Everybody's just on the... Yeah, people are a little bit worried, ready to break down. Schroeder's bruised leg. It's been healed up. Used a little bit more medicine. But yeah, you know, I mean, this colony's not doing too bad. And, in fact, actually, is the temperature... Oh, Christ. How long's that been going on? It's still -1. Refuel the generator. Always refuel the generator. How much did you put in? 2 days worth. 45 wood. So, I mean, yeah, the generator, it's not ideal, but as we get going, we'll maybe build a wind turbine, we'll build some batteries, we'll get a solar generator on the go, and that means that we'll not be reliant as much on the fuel generator. Conversely, it means if we have like something like an eclipse, if we have a few calm days where there's no wind, it means that consequently we've got the fuel generator as a backup. So they're not particularly efficient, and a lot of people will start by building a little solar farm or by putting down some wind turbines, which is fine, but I think it's always worth starting with a fuel generator, because as long as you've got wood, it means no matter what else is going on, you know, you can keep that power coming in, and you do need that. There's an elephant asleep in my corn and in my heel route, which isn't ideal, but I'm not going to argue with them. Speed things up, and as people are starting to wake up and we're moving in towards the start of a new day here we are, just as the sun comes up. I think we'll call this episode an end. So yeah, recapping this episode, we started digging things out here. We survived our first raid, such as it was. Poor Pegleg Pete here, Yefrim the herbalist, very much dead. Yeah, I think things are going okay. I think I'll probably record one more episode today. So if you're leaving comments in the last few episodes, it's probably as of probably 2 episodes time is when you'll start seeing us react to your comments. But hopefully you're enjoying this series. I'm having a lot of fun recording this morning, actually. It's been a while since I played RimWorld, and it's good to get back into it. If you've enjoyed the video, you can hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you can already. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter, or if you leave comments, I'm trying to actually pay attention to when we get comments and answer them, which would be nice. Okay, thanks very much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.